the intro.
All right.
What's up, guys? What's up? I'm here with Mike again. What's going on? Welcome on into Fantasy Intervention. I think I just sang that, by the way, to you. I think I just sang that. Oh, man. What a day. What a day. It's been a hell. It's been a hell of a day. Let me tell you. When you guys put out a tweet and it catches on, right? Which, you know, I'm still kind of new to Twitter, so I'm just kind of figuring things out. I've only been a part of Twitter for just a few months. But when you get a tweet and it catches on, it pretty much ruins your entire day, especially if it's a stupid tweet. Like, I swear to God, I put out this tweet today that said, I missed the debate. And I actually stole it from my buddy over there from Fantasy Football Discussion, by the way, on Facebook. But anyways, this guy put out the tweet. You guys can see it on my timeline. It says, I missed the debate tonight. Can anybody explain it to me in football terms? I swear to God, my phone did not stop going off, and I saw the butt fumble GIF or however you want to say it more times than any man should ever see the butt fumble GIF or GIF before, you know, in your entire life. Like, I saw enough butt fumbles today to last me 10 people's lifetimes. It was just butt fumble after butt fumble after butt fumble, and then followed up by, oh, well, we're going to see it again on the Thursday night game. Oh, my God, people. 65 freaking engagements. My phone did not stop blowing up. It was stupid. It was so dumb. Why? Why was the butt fumble a thing? Oh, my God. It's killing me, man. It's killing me. So I was sitting there. I was talking to Mike about it. Welcome on in, Mike. How's your day going so far, by the way?
Can't complain. Apparently better than yours. I didn't have anything go viral today, so.
He had a video go viral. You guys should check it out, right? It's at FF Daddy's Home, right?
Daddy's Home FF.
Oh, I'm sorry. Daddy, I need to take that off. Sorry. Daddy's Home FF.
Right.
He has a video on there that went viral as well. He had like 20,000 engagements or something insane. And oh my God, I wanted to die today. I couldn't get anything done. I turned off my entire phone actually for like a good 2-hour span so I could do my DFS research, which, by the way, I dove into so hard that I pretty much wasted my whole day away on doing DFS research. It was pretty fun, question mark. But yeah, I want to go ahead and welcome Mike in. Want him to tell you guys, what's going on with the show sheet, what you guys should expect today in this episode while I go ahead and share this stuff around Facebook and Twitter.
Perfect. All right. Well, hopefully we're going to have a special guest for you guys joining. I know he's running a little behind, but we're expecting Elvin to join us as well.
Elvin from where?
Elvin from the Pregame HQ, where all three of us hang out and write our articles.
He's coming on tonight?
That's what I heard. I heard he's on his way. It's like Santa Claus. I'm looking out the window, waiting for him to get here. Couldn't be more excited. Way bigger than both of us combined. Don't know why he's slumming tonight, but I heard he's going to make an appearance.
Yeah, he's part of Fantasy Pros too, I'm pretty sure.
I've heard that as well. So we're going to bring him on. We are going to do a quick recap of our Week 3 dominance. We are going to do our post-waiver ads, those players that your league mates forgot about that you should be grabbing. Do our starts outside the consensus top 20 for Week 4. And we are going to get to your start-sit questions, anything you want to throw in the chat. Fully interactive like we always do. Already starting out, I saw Dave jumping in. We got Cooter Doodle. Love when she drops by. Thanks for the shout-out. We're going to get live here. We're going to get party. We're going to get drunk and get you guys ready to go for Week 4.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. And of course, we do have to bring up a couple things that we smashed. We smashed from last week. So, Mike, take it away.
All right. So, when you join, you're looking for that gold. And what did we bring you this week? Well, fully pants off for the Rams game. We had Jared Goff finishing at QB5. Cooper Kupp finishing at wide receiver 8, both of them ranked outside the top 20. Off of my Twitter, you got Rex Burkhead, who finished RB2. We gave you Jeff Wilson, who finished at number 10. We gave you Keenan Allen, who finished at number 3. And then my man right here was all up in, whose season was it now?
Andy Isabella's season! Let's
Hell
go.
yeah. So how are you going to be upset when we gave you how many top 20 finishes? We gave you 5 top 10s, absolutely crushed the week, hit it in FanDuel, hit it in DraftKings, hit it in your leagues, absolutely killed it. Now we're going to bring it to you again this week.
Oh, I love it, man. I absolutely love it. I am so excited for this week too. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about the Thursday night matchup because, by the time this gets out, I don't know if I'll have it out for the podcast before Thursday night or after Thursday night. And although we got a lot right over the weekend, we kind of bombed the Thursday night episode or the Thursday night game. So yeah, I mean, that always happens. You get some right, you get some wrong, especially when you're talking about individual games. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about this week. So what are we going to start out with first, Mike?
So we are going to bring to you your post-waiver ads. So as always, we run this show on Wednesdays. Expectation is most of your waivers have run either late last night or this afternoon. So those of you who are looking to scavenge, those of you who are looking to check that free agent pool to see if there's people we can add either for right now, people we can plug and play in our lineup, or folks we want to be adding for the coming weeks. We're going to give you that list right now.
Oh, I love it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this episode. All right, I need to hop back over. These comments. I was trying to try to get the word out about what's going on. I don't want you guys to be the only ones listening. God, this is Wednesday nights for fantasy. Wednesday night is for fantasy. I love it. Absolutely love it. Tuning in from Australia. What's up?
My man, Brad, the film study king right here. We're going to bring up some of the things he found later.
Oh, I absolutely love it. All right, so let's go ahead and kick it off. Who is your first guy?
My first guy is Damian Harris from the New England Patriots. So for those of y'all who can't tell from my accent, New England boy, Boston born and raised, still here now, so big Pats fan. Here's what I'm going to tell you about Damian Harris. He is a guy you are going to want to grab right now. He's returning soon, actually came back to practice today, and he's going to be part of the messy backfield. But the reason why you want to grab him is there are people in your league that have been tweeting about this guy. There are people in your league that are truthers on this guy. There are people in your league that were waiting for him to come back. So what I want you to do is I want you to grab him, and I want you to move him immediately. There is going to be a news cycle on this guy. There's going to be hype around this guy. People are waiting for him to come back. You're going to have the fans yelling, here comes Harris. It's Harris season. Everyone hates on Sony Michel, despite going for 140 last week. It's a messy backfield. You want nothing to do with it. But you're going to be able to pick this guy up. You're going to be able to flip him like that once the news cycle hits. So get in front of it. Get him on the block. Get him on your roster. And then get him right the hell off.
Flip him on your belly from the back, right? You did a little flipperoo.
That's all you do. Just boom, put him down, send him on his way. Give him a kiss on the cheek, send him home.
Tell him good night. What's up? Now, and that's the biggest thing you guys need to do and need to realize with this New England backfield, of course. This New England backfield is going to be, a shit show from week to week. We don't know what exactly is going to happen. So grabbing a guy, waiting for him to go off and selling him, a guy like Damian Harris is absolutely perfect. All right, on to mine. And this is something that I don't understand, and I guess it's way more for like extremely shallow leagues, but Gaskin is only rostered in like 67% of the leagues right now, which doesn't really make sense. Does that make sense to you? It doesn't really make sense to me, right?
I'm actually been trying to buy him because he's not on the waivers on any of my leagues, and I wish I could just grab him for free. I mean, plug and play running back that's getting touches absolutely makes zero sense to me.
It makes zero sense to you. Yeah, he's sitting there and he has 22 rushing attempts this past week. And although it was only for 3 yards per carry, he still had 5 receptions for 29 yards. He's a major piece to this offense. And I mean, a major piece to the passing offense as well. The Dolphins are going to be down. They're going to be losing the majority of the time. And I'm not going to spend as much time on this because 67% of owners do actually have shares of Myles Gaskin, very similar to McKinnon. Like these two guys shouldn't be on any waiver wires. They should be at least 85 to 90% owned, even in smaller leagues. I mean, as long as McKinnon's healthy, of course. But Gaskin, like, dude, I'm having him in 10-team leagues. And I'm probably going to have him in 18 leagues as well. It took a week for James Robinson to catch on. Don't let that happen to you. If Gaskin is out there, go get him.
Oh, no question. I mean, this is, like I said, it's crazy. You got Jordan Howard legitimately is getting 2 carries a game. They only let him go on the field when he's at the half-yard line.
Only
right?
at the goal line. Only
That's
at the goal line.
So you have 99 yards of Gaskin and 1 yard of Howard. Especially this week. I think this is the week if you didn't grab him, if you don't grab him now, this is
He's
the
done.
week you're not going to be able to get him. Once he hits the Seattle game, it's over. It's over.
He's out the window.
Yep, no question.
All right, you're up. You're up, Slugger. What you got?
Next on the list,
what you got for me?
The Tariq Cohen replacement and our man Cordarrelle Patterson. This is a guy who all of a sudden he's like a friggin' yo-yo, right? Like he's out, he's in, he's out, he's in. I actually think we might have mentioned him 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. But
yeah,
now,
we did.
Right? I mean, and hopefully you grabbed him then. Hopefully you were ahead of the curve. But now you got the third down back. Monty is decent in the passing game, but certainly not going to be a bell cow. Let's face it, he had the neck injury, he's got the knee injury. The guy comes out of the game a decent amount. They did just bring up Artavis Pierce, who we're going to talk about in our deep ads, but this is a Cordarrelle Patterson, third down back, wide receiver. Put him in your wide receiver slot if you can. Get those touches. Boom, you got gold.
I don't know. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
There we go. This is the drum roll. We got somebody coming in the house. Y'all ready for him? I need to get a loud round of applause. I need to hear you guys scream for Elvin. Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's up, guys?
What's up,
Dude,
Elvin?
What's going on, Elvin?
Your camera quality kills mine, dude. This new computer sucks.
Man, it's all good. I
thought it was black and white at first. I was like, in my settings, I'm like, what the fuck?
I thought it was black and white too. I'm not gonna lie.
We just like that portrait mode. You look like you're on like the iPhone 10. It's nice.
Yeah,
You look pretty.
Dude, we just lost like 100 followers because I was banging on the mic. Pretty sure. People, was it really loud?
Oh, it wasn't that bad, but I'll tell you, when you dropped the Judy talk on the DFS show, I noticed people just left in droves, so it couldn't be that bad, right?
Oh, God, man. Dude, the Jerry Judy talk's real this year. Jerry Judy is going to be real in this game. So, Elvin, what's going on, man? How are you doing tonight?
Dude, rough day, rough day.
Yeah, I heard.
Talk football.
Yeah, you, oh, sorry. I got to close this. The Jets were flying overhead. You got some stuff going on over there, right? You run like 5 smoothie stations or something?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's got to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's tough.
Up until your credit cards go down.
Yeah. I used to have one where you're at. We went on.
Oh, that's tough to hear. Actually, I feel like I remember it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So obviously we're sitting here, we're talking about, some of the guys that got dropped, some of the guys that might have not performed or might be on your waiver wire still. We mentioned Myles Gaskin, right? We mentioned Cordarrelle Patterson. Who else did we mention, Mike?
We just got through Damian Harris was the other one we covered.
Yeah, and then McKinnon as well. Right. Some of the guys that might have been slept on or some of the guys that might have been dropped. Another good example is Curtis Samuel, right? Because he didn't perform what everybody thought he might perform, so he might have gotten dropped. However, there's still plenty of opportunity out there, and they got a pretty decent matchup this upcoming week. So is there anybody that you're keeping your eye on, Elvin?
Dude, I saw McKinnon got dropped in my home league.
It's crazy.
That guy put up numbers. So
well, I think people are concerned about the injury concern.
Yeah, the ribs. Yeah, I saw Wilson. He flew up the waiver wire board for sure.
Well, I think the big thing is like with Wilson that I don't want to play him is Philly has a really good run defense overall. And, McKinnon has the athletic ability to be able to beat Philly to the outside. Meanwhile, McKinnon doesn't necessarily have that same, upside. So I like McKinnon over, Wilson, of course, if he's healthy.
Yeah, I think everyone agrees with you, man.
Oh, no doubt.
Well, not if they're dropping him. It blows my mind. But it happens. It happens. So you got to keep your eye on, who was dropped from the previous week and put a bid on them, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about a similar guy, too, that I see getting dropped a lot is my man Malcolm Brown. I mean, he was waiver wire gold week 1, and now all of a sudden Henderson puts up some numbers against a weak Giants D, and everyone's down on Brown, forgetting that guy still got 7 carries. He still got in the game. He was coming back from an injury. I forget, was it a finger, I want to say? Like, it was a minor injury.
Yeah, it's a very minor injury.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden getting dropped for Henderson, similar to everyone dropping McKinnon for Wilson. those are the guys you want to be grabbing. I mean, a running back that's touching the ball, sitting on the waiver wire for free this year is absolute gold.
I think they actually, so they had the Rams last week. I mean, they had the Bills last week. They have the Giants this week, which could be an amazing matchup. You could see Malcolm Brown come out with 3 touchdowns this week.
Absolutely.
He was vulturing goal line touches from Todd Gurley. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, there's that weird, like, you know how those coaches all have that weird guy they just can't quit? Malcolm Brown's McVay's guy. Like, he just puts him in even when he's not supposed to. Even when he's got the MVP, puts him in the game.
Dude, he's good, though.
Oh, he is good. But he's
a talented guy.
But you saw him taking whole series from Gurley when Gurley was at his peak. McVay's like, no, go ahead out there, man. But he puts up numbers, no doubt. He is steady, falls forward, love the guy.
I'm on the same page. Another guy for me that I wanted to throw in there was Carlos Hyde, who is only 25% rostered. Why is he only 25% rostered? He's the lead back in Seattle, right? I mean, Chris Carson might play this week. It's possible, but I'd rather take the chance and grab him because if he has that opportunity, Carlos Hyde produces in most cases, and he's going to be the first and second down back minimum. What do you guys think about Carlos Hyde?
What do you got, Elvin? Do you want to take this one?
Yeah, no, I like Carlos Hyde a lot for the next 2 weeks, but I mean, Carson's a strong guy. Honestly, they say 2 weeks. I think it'll be closer to just a 1 week rental. I mean, I think he'll be back within before the 2 week mark. So, but I do like Hyde this weekend just because he's a volume play and you're getting him for nothing for waivers.
And I don't think he's as bad of a pass catching back as like people are led to believe. And Chris Carson, if Chris Carson can catch 2 touchdowns, right, in Seattle, like what makes you think that Hyde can't do the same?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's definitely a grab at this point. I think with Carson too, I mean, what you see is he is strong. You're right, Elvin. He comes back from injuries, but he gets them. I mean, the guy looks for contact. He's not slipping tackles. He's running through them. So he's going to get those dings. I think that, to be quite honest, it should at least be a wake-up call to Carson owners that you should have Carlos Hyde on your roster for when Carson does get that ding, for when he gets that little ankle thing that maybe only keeps him 1 game, but you want every piece of this rushing team that you can get. I mean, Seattle's going to hand the ball off. Pete Carroll, other than on the 1 yard line in the Super Bowl, he's going to run the ball. And when he does, there's going to be goodness, right? I mean, so to me, I think that anyone who has Carson on the roster should want Hyde. Anyone who doesn't should be grabbing Hyde, let him go off, and then move him to the Carson owner. That's really the play right here. But Carson will come in and out because of the way he plays. He's lower the pads, run through. He's not going to slip tackles. The guy gets hit square and runs through it. That's going to cause those little dings that he gets. And I think Hyde's going to get some run, not only just this week, but there's be at least a few more weeks where Carlos Hyde is playable this year.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's kind of everyone's mindset is like Carson drops the pads. He's looking for contact. He's going to get hurt. But last season, he wasn't as injured as much as you would think. I think Alvin Kamara missed more games than him. A lot of people don't realize that. Dalvin at the end of the season actually ended up missing more games than Carson. A lot of people just have that in their head because of the hip problem, and we know how violent of a runner he likes to be. But, I mean, he's not as injury-prone as a lot would say.
Dude, he's hurt a lot. He's not injured. You know? There's a difference. And some players can't play hurt. Like Alvin Kamara with the high ankle sprain can't play hurt. His playing style is more of an agile-based, trait, right? Like he likes to cut back and forth a lot. We saw that in Monday night's game with that sick run that he had. He's an agile guy, and high ankle sprains don't allow that to happen. And a lot of runs or a lot of injuries that Alvin Kamara would have, with his running style, wouldn't allow him to produce. However, with Chris Carson, dude, he's just pedal to the metal, shoulders down. You guys talked about it, and so when he gets hurt, it's not going to affect his play style as much. Now, I do want to bring up Rashad Penny because Pete Carroll's saying that he's ahead of schedule. Now, he still has to wait until week 6 because he's on the PUP list. But are you guys trying to get ahead and pick up Rashad Penny ahead of time? Or is Carlos Hyde going to be the number 2 guy once Penny comes back?
So I mean, for me, I'm grabbing Penny similar to Damian Harris. Like, I love those guys that are going to be in the news cycle. I think Rashad Penny realistically is a guy that people thought was better than he has been. He breaks a few highlight film plays, right? I mean, he breaks a couple, but as far as Pete Carroll goes as a coach, he's told you what he likes. He likes the guys that fall forward. He likes the guys that hit the line of scrimmage, and Penny's not that. He's a dancer. So for me, I'm not grabbing Penny for myself, but I'm grabbing Penny because Chris Carson is underrated. Like Elvin said, people expect him to be injured. People hate Carlos Hyde. Like, they don't like what they don't know, which is flash and highlight film, ESPN. Those two aren't those guys, but they are a much better fit for Pete Carroll's system than Rashad Penny is. So I love getting ahead of it because people are going to be tweeting, Penny's coming, volume's coming, this is what's going to happen. They drafted him for this. They're going to talk about his draft capital. I'm moving him on the news. I don't see him as fantasy viable throughout the year.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you on that, but I mean, you just have to know that what you're going to get in return for Penny was worth whatever you released off your bench spot. Because to me, I personally, I don't like Penny at all. I'm rolling with Hyde. Yeah, he had 1,000 yards rushing with Houston on a much worse offense. He just falls forward, like you said, and that's the kind of guy that Pete likes. That's the kind of guy I like. I don't want any part of Penny once he's back.
Okay, all right. Let's see where you guys are at. I like Penny as a bench stash if you're in deeper leagues. So I think I brought him up a little bit too early. We're in the shallow league still, but yeah, I like him. Now, go ahead and talk about your next guy, Mike.
All right, next guy I have on our list here for tonight is Robert Tonyan.
Wait, what did you say? Robert what?
Robert Tonyan. Is that how I'm going to pronounce it? I don't know, man. Freaking tight end from Green Bay. I've been drinking. I don't know, but realistically, we all heard about Jay Sternberger is going to be the guy. He's going to be the pass catching back. My man already beat him out in the preseason. It has nothing to do with injuries. He was listed as the starter already. Caught all 5 of his targets last week. 50 yards and a touchdown. Again, goes a little under the radar because the Lizard Man exploded, and that's all anyone was talking about from that game. But right now, when you look at the tight end position, 5 to 7 targets on that type of offense, if you're getting somewhere around 50 yards and a touchdown, I mean, that's TJ Hawkinson territory. That's that kind of tight end 6-7 sweet spot for a guy who is rostered in 1.5% of leagues currently. So 98.5% chance he's sitting out there for free on a high-powered offense, getting 5 to 7 targets. It's free money to me. We're all screwing around with like the Ian Thomases of the world still sitting on your bench. That's an easy swap for me to grab that guy and roll on with him.
I'll take that. Yeah. I still like Drew Sample more. Not gonna lie.
You're gonna hold that till he hits. I know it.
I'm gonna hold on.
You gave me a whole
Sample
love story. There was eye contact. There was spaghetti dinner, if I remember correctly.
Lady and the Tramp. Man, if you had to take a guy, Elvin, who are you taking over Drew Sample or Robert Tonyan?
Well, I mean, I took Robert last night in one of my deep dynasty leagues, but that's only because Drew was taken. I would go with Drew all day. He's going to be force fed by Joe Burrow, man. It's going to Joe.
He is. What happened the other night?
He just loves tight ends, man. You saw what Kuzma did at the beginning of the game before he tore his Achilles, and then Drew comes in to finish for him, and he's just on fire.
Dude, that's what I'm talking. So I mean, back before this week, right? I did a thing where I combined the stats, and you shouldn't combine stats, right? You shouldn't say, oh, if this player was out and this player, like you shouldn't do that. But I did it anyways. And Drew Sample actually became tight end 5 on, in the rankings. So for PPR. But yeah, I love the connection that they have. But he had 1 catch for 1 yard. And the backup, who had 9 snaps, had 1 catch for 1 yard.
And hold on, don't leave out that he had one target.
One
target.
It's he had nothing going.
Yeah, it was tough.
The volume's going to come. I think he's throwing it. He's on pace for the second most passes at 47 attempts a game. Joe Burrow is. The volume's going to come for those guys.
Dude, he's on pace for 752 attempts right now.
Yeah.
Do you have the over under on breaking? I think it was, what was it, 629 or maybe it was 627 attempts from Andrew Luck. Is he going to break that?
No, he'll be under.
You think?
Oh yeah, I mean that one game, you got to think in a 3-week, I mean we're dealing with a 3-week sample size. He had 61 passes in one game. That's going to skew that number a ton. He'll finish under that for sure.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's gonna be close.
Yeah, I think the big thing last week was he targeted the wide receivers 36 times. I mean, you can't live like that. You have to go to the tight end more than he did. Whatever he saw in the Eagles defense, he was going outside. He was going to the wide receivers, but absolutely the volume has to come from him.
So the guy that I want to bring up is Brian Hill, right? He's only owned in 7% of leagues, 7, right? And he looked like the more explosive back, in Atlanta compared to Gurley. And I've always loved his workout metrics. I mean, he had a 4.5, 40-yard dash at 6'1", 220 pounds. So overall, that's pretty good. He has a solid burst score, solid agility score. I'm getting this from Player Profiler. It's not great, but could this guy be a guy that could take touches away from Todd Gurley? I mean, he looked good this past week.
You want to take this one, Elvin?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he continues to get around the 10, 12 touch mark. I agree with you. He looked super, super explosive. He looked like the better back, honestly. I think Gurley finished with more fantasy points, but that doesn't always tell the whole story. I really like Brian Hill. I think 7% was before waivers processed yesterday because I think he was probably one of the more picked up guys last night.
I'm looking at it right now. Right now on ESPN, it says 7%. I don't know.
That's incredible.
Carries, 9 carries, 3 total targets. He had 1 reception on those, but he had 80 total yards and a touchdown. Put up 15 points in PPR leagues, 19th overall running back on the week. I like Brian Hill, man. I like Brian Hill a lot.
Everyone should. He shouldn't be on waivers.
He's not only – so he's a guy that's a handcuff, but also offers independent value. And these guys right here are – like they should be valued a lot higher than what they are. Because if somebody does go down, like I would much rather stash or hold on to Brian Hill than Devonta Freeman. Devonta Freeman might be the starting back, although he wasn't starting back this past week. He might be the starting back, but his schedule is brutal, right? He has 6 consecutive weeks of extremely tough matchups up against Washington – twice, Philly twice, Tampa Bay, and then he has a bye. So when do you feel good about playing Devonta Freeman? Like when is that I need to play Devonta Freeman?
Yeah, no, we talked about that before. Devonta Freeman was a waste of fab to begin with. What I love about Hill is when we look at the snap count, he did 35% of the snaps. Elvin referenced that Gurley put up some fantasy points. If you're actually watching the game, he broke off. It was typical Gurley. Nothing. He had one drive where he popped off. I want to say like 3 10 to 15-yard runs that made the numbers look okay. But he was getting blown up on goal line. He didn't look like he had any drive to his legs. Even when they weren't using Hill, they were using Ito Smith at the goal line in previous weeks. So I definitely think Hill's the explosive play. My only fear with him is the potential vulturing at the goal line. They seem to be more comfortable with Ito Smith when they're in that red zone, at least historically the past few weeks and even last year before he got hurt. But Smith, the 9% of the snaps, no carries. Yeah, they literally made their choice in Atlanta, and I agree that Hill looks like the best back on that team right now.
So, Elvin, who would you rather have, Devonta Freeman or Hill?
I have to disagree with you guys. I want the starter. I want the guy who I know is he's going to step into that Saquon role. He's not near as talented or as productive, but Gallman and Deion Lewis won't remain a thing. This guy has to learn a playbook and get a feel. Daniel Jones and the offensive coordinator, but I have to go with the starter.
Yeah, I've heard that, and I've had disagreements with it. I just don't like the fact that I don't think you're going to be able to play the starter for any time. Like you have 2 good matchups in a row, but the third matchup up against Washington with that defensive line, it could be the best defensive line in the league coming the end of the season if they can keep it healthy. Matt Ioannidis is out, but I think Chase Young's injury is kind of, he's good to go. Did you guys see anything on that, by the way?
1 to 2 weeks, I believe. It was a mild groin strain was what the call was. had some discomfort, but I don't think it was anything that they expected to be IR or season ending at all. I think it was just a mild groin strain was what I read.
Okay. I don't like the situation that Freeman's walking into, and I don't understand why he hasn't signed with the team, up until now. Like if he was in shape, if he was ready to go, by the time that he ramps up and gets in football shape, he's gonna have tough matchups, and I don't think you can start him 6 straight weeks. Even if you're in a bad situation, I don't think you can start him 6 straight weeks. All right, moving on. Is that going to close out this section? I think
that is going to close out our shallow leagues.
I do need to bring up our sponsor. I need to talk about our sponsor. We just got a brand new sponsor. We got a brand new sponsor, Statement Games. Oh my God. Statement Games is badass, right? So go to statementgames.com. And what you're going to do is you're going to go sign up. You don't need a credit card. You don't need to give any kind of, crazy information. You just sign up with your Facebook account. It's super simple, super easy. It takes you like 2 seconds to do it. You just go into Statement Games. Then you're going to go in and you're going to see my logo, Fantasy Intervention. It's going to be right there next to the New England Patriot and Chiefs, the New England Patriot and Chiefs matchup this upcoming week. And then, you're going to go and you're actually going to click on that and you're going to play. And guess what? It's free. It's free to play. Like, I don't understand why people wouldn't do this. It's free to play. It's right here, right? We have our Chiefs lineup and you're going to go ahead and you're actually going to enter in your over-under. So you want to play with us, Elvin?
Yeah, man.
All right. We're going to go with our 10 favorite bets, right? Our 10 statements that we have to make. That's how they're calling it. Can you guys see the screen all right on our side? Oops.
Yep.
Wait, what just happened? This is the second time. Hold on, guys. Let me get this under wrap.
This has never happened before.
This has never happened. Never happened. Like credit card machine going down. It's never happened before. Never seen it.
All right.
All right.
So we got 10 of these.
We got to pick 10 or 10 favorites. So stop me when you guys see one that you like. Can you guys see it all right?
Yep. All right, so I'm going to stop you right away, and I'm going to take the over 23.5 for the Pats. I think that's way too low.
Really?
Yeah.
After seeing the Ravens last week. The Ravens, don't forget, one of their touchdowns was special teams.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't care. I think what you're looking at, granted, it's a different offense, but I think what you're looking at is a very similar Pats-Chiefs game from years past. I think you're going to see some points. I think Cam's going to make his mark. I like the Pats to put up 30, so give me that 23.5 over.
All right, Elvin, you got the next pick. Did you see anything above? Tell me when to stop. Anything.
I think Patrick will go over 2.5 TDs.
Over 2.5. We saw him go off up against Baltimore, which I think is a tougher defense. So I completely agree with that 100%, hands down. All right. If you guys see another one, did you see anything that you liked above this?
I like the Cam over going over 175 against this team.
Really? They got a really good passing defense.
Yeah, I know. I just have this feeling of a little bit more of a shootout. I think what you're seeing depressed numbers because of the Baltimore game, and I want to cash in on that. So,
what do you think, Elvin?
Nah, I don't trust Cam as a passer, especially not against a pass defense that good.
That pass defense is really good. I'm actually gonna leave that one on the side, and we'll see if we can go back to it.
All right. Well, like you told me I was on crack with golf. We'll talk about this next week. I got this one.
Hey, I didn't say we already could do it. I just said let's see if there's anything better, right? We want to see the best possible matchups. Guys, go on to statementgames.com and play with us. It's New England versus the Chiefs. You don't have to pay anything. It's free, and you win not only $50, by the way. He's throwing in $50, but you also win points towards getting gift cards to Amazon along with multiple other things. So let me know. Do you guys see? I kind of like the Cam Newton over 2.5 passing and rushing touchdowns, because I think that he might get 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 passing. But I'm going to come back to that. What do you guys see? Anything? Over passing yards, Elvin?
I'll take Clyde.
Yeah, I'm taking Clyde. Touchdown, yeah.
Oh, he's getting a touchdown. He's getting a touchdown.
And I think he's got over 75 on this one.
Yeah, I like that too. What do you think?
Yeah, what do they have him for receiving yards?
Ooh, they don't have a wait.
There's one I like. Give me a huge underarm Rex Burkhead. James White's back at practice right now. Burkhead is we talked about this, why he's not in our waiver column is because he is a James White handcuff. White's back. Burkhead, no chance he sees 80.
What do you think, Elvin?
Dude, I mean, it all depends. I mean, we don't know where James Whitehead is, really. I mean, that's tough what he's going through right now.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So, I don't know. I think Rex will be more involved than what we think. 80's kind of tough, though.
Yeah, 80 and a half. I mean, he didn't do that last week, and people were raving about his game. I don't think he did 80 last week, did he?
All-purpose yard?
Did he? Let me see.
Find out for me. I'm going to keep going.
Rex?
Rex. He had touchdowns, not yards.
No, he had yards, too.
Let me see.
I kind of like the Sony Michel over 60.5 rushing yards, to be honest with you. I mean, the Chiefs aren't good up against the run.
Rex had just over. He had 49 and 49 in his big game. So 80, I mean, 80 is a lot against a good defense in a game where he's not even starting to get those snaps.
What about any of these N'Keal Harry takes? Did I see the CH receiving?
And Tyreek both, combined for over 10 receptions.
You like that?
Yeah.
I like the Tyreek yards one.
I think Sammy had 6 or 7 receptions against Baltimore.
Yeah, and 76 yards.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like that. Gilmore struggles up against speed guys. Yep. He really does. He bites. He's really aggressive, so he bites on those double fakes. Tyreek could definitely go over. Anything else that sticks out to you guys?
6.5 for Kelsey. With with Chung out, with Hightower out, Pats aren't going to have anyone that's going to be able to cover Kelsey.
All right, let's take it. What are we at? We need 4 more. Kansas City defense over 2.5 sacks.
Against Cam, that's a tough one. I don't like betting Cam getting sacked.
Well, Cam's not super agile back there. He's not he's not going to outrun anybody necessarily.
No, he's just big though. He's big and strong, getting the ball out.
Did you see what Chandler Jones did over there to Lamar Jackson?
Chris Jones?
Christian, sorry, not Chandler.
Yeah, is he playing? I thought he was hurt.
Oh, I don't know. Good call.
I think he might have got hurt. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know, man. I'm writing articles all day and
we got Mike on here, Chief fan. We got this. Mike is what's going on, Chris Jones? Hit me up in the comments. Let's see. Hurt, questionable. Thank you. Pats sacks. I kind of like the 1.5 sacks for the Pats. I think Belichick's got some schemes there.
I was the exact opposite.
Why? Why do you hate me today? Why?
We'll figure it out at the end, guys. Let's go ahead and get back to this podcast real quick. we're taking way too much thought. I was thinking bang, bang, bang. Let's just get it done.
I'm gonna sign up when we're done, and I'm gonna whip your ass in this one. Is what we're gonna do.
All right, let's do it.
I'll get my own going.
All right, guys. So let's hop back over to this episode real quick. What do we have up next, Mike?
All right, so next we have our deeper leagues. So for those of you playing, what do we say? It was 20 plus people on a roster, 12-team league, especially Superflex. Those people who are looking at their waiver wire and saying, holy shit, there is nothing that is going to hit today. Let me see what I can look for that might hit later on. And we're going to start out with the Superflex pick. Superflex pick for this week is Kyle Allen at 0.1% rostered. He sucks at football, and I'm okay with saying that. He's not really a great football player, but he is the next man up. They spent draft capital on a trade for this guy, and Rivera came out saying that Haskins has a short leash. There's already concerns coming out that he got into with Thomas Davis, didn't want to listen to him about reading the blitz, staring down receivers. Haskins is a guy who already is being called out in the media.
Yeah, he is.
And Kyle Allen's free. And honestly, let's face it, in Superflex, if you're getting under a center and you're anybody other than Ripien, this is a guy you're going to want to have on your team. Go ahead and grab him while he's free. The announcement's coming soon. I just don't see Rivera sticking with Haskins long term.
Elvin, up to you. What you got?
Yeah, I like Kyle Allen. I own him in probably one of my bigger money leagues. It's super flex, like you said, and it's like 20 bench spots. It's pretty deep. It's awful. It's an auction. Probably my worst team, hands down. But yeah, I have Kyle Allen and Haskins. So
I had somebody pick him up in SFBX in one of my leagues today. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I also have Drew Lock as well, so I had to pick up Ripien. So he's actually going to be my guy in Superflex leagues. However, if you're not,
how are you doing in the Scott Fish Bowl?
Oh man, I'm so pissed. So I don't really use MFL, right? I'm sleeper mainly. You know, I have ESPN home leagues, but I'm sleeper all the way. And I forgot to hit the submit button when I was changing my lineup. And so I started AJ Brown over Andy Isabella this week. Ooh. And I lost by 10 points, and Andy Isabella put up like 18. So I'm a little pissed. You know, it is what it is. It's just part of it. I just, you know, hopefully I can not make that mistake again and win out the rest of the year. But I started out with 7 of my, 17 or 18 people that you draft.
Yep.
I started out with 7 of those guys injured, and I had 2 that switched situations with Leonard Fournette and Ngubawale, who I took as like a flyer pick because I thought he was the third down back over there for Tampa Bay. So I have had a rough start. I'm 1-2. But yeah, I had the right process. I just had, you know, unfortunate events with, I think I had Cortland Sutton. It's been bad, you know, bad situation for me with the injuries, which, you know, I expected to happen this year.
What division is that?
Nerf toys. But yeah, I'm in there with Aaron McClung, who writes the daily, you know, waiver wire show. And then I'm in there with Jeff Borzello as well, and a few other, you know, big time names. So I've got a pretty tough division overall. How are you doing?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm 2-1. My one loss was by 1 point, so that hurt pretty bad.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
1 point for me and automatically in.
Yeah. So I mean, I used I went back-to-back quarterback, 0 running back strategy. I didn't take a running back until round 5. I took Carson, and I didn't take another one until like 7.
Damn.
And, I love my team, honestly.
I loved my team when I drafted. I was bragging all about it. Like I thought I was set. I fucked up a little bit with tight end because I got sniped twice on my tight end situation, so I didn't really like that. And it's tight end premium, but hey, it is what it is. All right.
My first tight end was Hooper, so I can't really say shit about playing tight end premium.
Why did you play? Oh, God,
I faded tight end. I went heavy running back. I should be 2-1. I lost on that fucking Jared Cook catch with 13 seconds to go in the Saints game 2 weeks ago. Garbage time down 10. Friggin' Cook hit the 13-yard pass. I lost by 0.7 on that fucking pass.
Hey, real quick before we keep going on to these deeper sleepers, can you real quick, Elvin? We actually plugged you beforehand, but do you want to tell everybody where they can find you real quick?
Yeah, man, on Twitter at ElvinRyan_FF and the pregamehq.com. That's where I'm at.
What's going on with the pregamehq.com? Tell us a little about that.
We've got some awesome writers like FF Intervention. He's killing it over there. But we have our weekly rankings from every position you'll use in fantasy to your deeper IDP, waiver wire articles, buy low, sell high, really anything you can ask for from a fantasy aspect. Still working on getting a trade analyzer added to the site, but it's coming.
Dude, it's a progressive site, I'll tell you that. And a lot of those writers out there are very, very active. You know, I recognize a lot of you guys. So, you know, good job putting together the crew. You're obviously crushing it over there at the pregamehq.com. All right, so on to my quarterback, right, for like the streaming guys that I want to play. I really like Baker Mayfield this week, man. I don't think his volume is going to be questionable, obviously. I think that Chubb's still going to get in there. I think that Hunt's still going to get in there. But, I mean, they're up against Dallas. They're going to have to pass. And Dallas is not good on defense. You know, like outside of maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think Baker Mayfield might be the best stream. Him or, you know, Jared Goff too, which you called last week, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not going to call Goff back to back, but I absolutely love Mayfield this week. Actually have in our outside the top 20, we're going to cover Beckham. as my wide receiver to go to. Brad Bolt at Brad Bolt 1. Guy's doing film study for us. We mentioned him earlier. Covered overall the Dallas secondary. No Byron Jones. They are getting lost. It's not just that they're not coverage. They're literally blowing assignments. There's nobody quarterbacking that defense back there, and they are flat out lost. They're prime for giving up big plays right now. I see Beckham and Mayfield hooking up for 1, maybe 2 long touchdowns. I see Landry getting free, maybe even that garbage tight end that's talked about in the fishbowl, Hooper grabbing a couple balls. But Dallas isn't stopping anybody. So if you were ever going to play Baker Mayfield, this would be the week. No doubt.
All right, let's try and fly through these next guys. We've already been on here for way too long. So
all right,
let's try and fly through some of these next guys, and then let's go ahead and hit on the guys that were playing outside of the top 20.
All right, so let's just get through the list quick. We talked about a few of them. We have Artavis Pierce coming out with the Bears. They just picked him up from the practice squad. We have Travis Homer, who is looking at maybe playing that passing downs back while Chris Carson's out. Darnell Mooney, who we gave you before at 0.7%, didn't have the week we were expecting, but certainly looking for big numbers. Zach Pascal steps back into the limelight. You might have got a couple games from him last week, but Pittman has that compartment syndrome, if I'm not mistaken. Paris Campbell, lower body injury, potentially missing multiple weeks. And then Tyler Kroft stepping up now. Dawson Knox has the injury. Tyler Kroft obviously was a big free agent signing out of the Bengals a couple of years back, couldn't get on the field. Back now, put up some numbers last week, and realistically, absolute mess of a position out there. So I like him as a quick pickup and plug and play.
Elvin, you got anything to add?
No, man, that was fast and efficient.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. You crushed that segment, of course, and you did forget one guy. You forgot one guy.
No, I did not forget one guy because George Kittle's coming back. So I did. Oh, I forgot your guy. Oh, excuse me. In red, why don't you go ahead and take it, my friend?
It's Andy Isabella season. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Andy Isabella season is not over. It is not finished. It is not done. Because, of course, you still have Christian Kirk, who's questionable and practicing in limited fashion. And, oh, man, this is a bummer. But DeAndre Hopkins did not practice today. He didn't practice. He could end up spending the week out. It's unfortunate, but it could be Andy Isabella season. And, honestly, I wish that the Arizona Cardinals would actually trade Christian Kirk. I really do. I think that Christian Kirk belongs on, or deserves to have a situation. But they might hold on to him because, of course, Larry Fitzgerald is nearing the end. But if they could end up getting, maybe a 5th-round pick from Washington who actually fits in that system really well, I think that both sides could end up benefiting. They're using Christian Kirk as a deep, receiver, like a deep target guy. He runs a 4.47. He's 5'10". He's not Mike Williams. He's not going up and grabbing the ball, right? He's not sitting there like Andy Isabella burning defensive backs and safeties. Like, what are they doing over there? Why are they using them this way? Go and get assets. You need help on defense. Go trade him for a defensive player. I understand that you want to hold on to it, but you're using them in the wrong way, and you're hurting. You're hurting my baby. My baby, Andy Isabella. Come on, man. That's my come on, man segment. All right. Got any take on that Elvin?
Nah, I mean, I like Isabella. I think I've cut him, honestly, in one of my deeper leagues whenever they had the Hopkins signing. So this hurts me. I think you just sold me on him.
I love it. I mean, he deserves it, and he deserves the opportunity. And I have a prediction, actually, that he's going to outproduce Larry Fitzgerald this year. And I think he has a chance as long as he sees the snaps. But I didn't foresee, Larry Fitzgerald out of the gates like he did. Larry Fitzgerald was sick out of the gates, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think he's benefiting from having Hopkins and then Kirk playing like kind of poorly so far to start the season whenever he's been able to play. But, I mean, this weekend I don't see Hopkins being out. I think it's just a veteran rest day for that ankle.
Yeah, I mean, they got Carolina, so they got a sick opportunity. They really do have a great opportunity to produce. He does. He has a great opportunity to produce if either Christian Kirk or Hopkins misses time, especially if they both miss time. But, yeah, like you said, there's a good chance they won't miss it. So I still want him on my roster though, just in case.
You have to with all the shit you talked. You got to keep him. Now you drop him, people are going to start.
I have him everywhere. I traded for him before this week, so I got him everywhere. Now I'm getting people that are like, "Hey, can you actually turn that into a 3rd round pick instead of a 4th round rookie pick for dynasty leagues?" But yeah, I think he's a lock for dynasty rosters, but I think he's even stashable in redraft. All right, on to our next segment. Mike, take us into that. What's up, man?
All right, so here we have our flex plays that we are loving the matchup on. And the first one we are going to bring you is Mr. Darrell Henderson. As we covered, the Giants can't stop shit and they can't score. If you were looking for a running back smash, what you're looking for is a defense that can't stop you and an offense that can't put you away. And that's what the Giants are right now. They're a fucking mess on both sides of the ball. And what they also can't do is stop those running backs coming out of the backfield, those dump offs, those short passes. Once they get into space, they have no one that's going to take Henderson down. He's coming off a 100-yard game against a much tougher defense in the Buffalo Bills. Absolutely on fire. I think this is a don't overthink it, don't get cute. If you have Henderson on your roster and you're not playing him this week, I would question why he's there to begin with. This is the week to play him, get him in your starting lineup, and watch the points just pile up.
Dude, you're supposed to start with a quarterback. This is at each position.
No, this is the flex plays. Each position is the next segment. I wrote the fucking thing. I know where we're at.
Oh, God.
No, come on. This is flexes, then the position. This is not outside the top 20.
Oh, my God. We're so far behind our schedule.
Do you want me to go through them quickly again? Because I can blow through this shit, too.
Yeah, let's do that. And then, hey, Elvin, if you want to actually hop onto ESPN rankings, we're picking guys outside the top 20 that has a chance to finish inside the top 12 just because we're so far behind. We're literally, 50 minutes into this?
Yeah, we're having way too much fun. It happens. All right, So let's get through our flex plays real quick. We have Darrell Henderson we just covered. Next on the list is Hunter Renfrow. You know the deal. It is a slot receiver against Buffalo. Crowder, Gesicki, Kupp. Slot receivers last 2 week. White guys, whatever it is, you smash it against the Buffalo Bills. They cannot cover on the inside. Give me all the Renfrow. And next is Devontae Parker, who is back. He is the undisputed number 1, regardless of what you Preston Wilson truthers want to think. He's back. He's ready to roll. No other non-running back saw more than 3 targets. Parker saw 5 for 5 for 69 on the touchdown. I expect Fitzpatrick to have to throw more than he did last week. He only chucked it 20 times. I expect more like 35 to 40. Parker is going to be the recipient. And the last one I had on the list is Ian Thomas. We're playing every tight end against Arizona. I am just fucking kidding. Do not play Ian Thomas. I don't know why you have him on your roster. The guy is shit. Get him off your roster. This is the only week. He is shit.
No, he's not.
No, you can love him all you want, but you can't play him.
He's not bad. His situation is bad.
Okay. Right? His situation, I'm sorry I hurt his feelings.
His situation is shit.
Fine, his situation is shit. Just don't play Ian Thomas. This is the only week you don't play tight ends against Arizona is when Carolina comes to town. The guy's got, I think, 2 targets on the year. I don't care how bad they cover the tight ends. You can't play him. You just can't. Don't have him in your lineup. But those are your smash plays. Henderson, Renfrow, and Parker are your flex plays. Guys you were thinking about, you're not certain on. Get them in your roster. They're must plays this week.
Elvin, you got anybody that you're must playing that is kind of a questionable option this week? Like Andy Isabella, for example?
That's outside of the top 20.
No, we're going to go over the top 20 next. I'm just talking about flex guys who might be questionable flex plays. Is there anybody that comes to mind? Don't mean to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, I like Fournette. I think a lot of people are going to write him off this week after kind of putting up that super great game and then just coming back down to earth so fast. I think the media is going to make so much of it that it's going to get to Bruce Arians, and I feel like they'll feed Fournette again. And I mean, he's a flex that I'd be willing to throw a dart at.
That's a great take. I actually have Leonard Fournette in the Scott Fish Bowl, like we mentioned earlier, and I'm playing him this week. I'm doing it. Let's hear about Allen Lazard. What do you guys think about Allen Lazard?
All right, so we talked about awful takes that I've had this year. Number one was in basketball, the Celtics were going to take out the Heat in 5. Number two was I actually got a question from a listener. What should I do with my roster? And one of the questions was who to drop. And I had said that I don't have anybody rostered other than Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones on the Packers. Don't give a shit about anybody else. And then Alan Lazard made me eat my own words hard. I still don't trust him when Adams is back, though. I don't see constant production. I see boom or bust, and he's a guy right now I'm getting what I can for after the big game. I just can't ever feel comfortable with him. My lineup is if Devontae Adams is healthy.
Okay, I'll take it. All right, so moving on to the top 20.
Moving on to players outside the top 20 or top 15 for quarterback and tight end that you're comfortable starting week 4, excuse me.
Week 2? You're a little off there, bud.
I didn't change that in the script. I feel like I'm Ron Burgundy with a question mark. I read that shit exactly as it was written.
Oh, man, I love it. I love it. All right. Who you got for your quarterbacks?
My quarterback, as you know from being in Drinking and Talking Fantasy last night, is Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm going to ride this motherfucker till I break his back against Seattle. This is going to be a track meet. And let's be honest, we're going to ride the roller coaster. This is going to be 5 touchdowns or 7 interceptions. There's going to be no fucking in between with Fitz. But this is going to be a track meet game. This is what Ryan Fitzpatrick lives for. The guy literally is just going to throw the ball all over the field. I'm playing Parker. I'm playing Preston Wilson. And my man, Chase, you know I'm feeling good about the Miami offense when I say this. I'm fucking playing Mike Gesicki. I am playing all of them at this point. And I hate Gesicki more than I hate the fucking Yankees. And I'm from Boston. But I'm playing them this week. Yeah, I got you with that one.
When I was taking a drink.
I know. That's how we roll. I am literally taking every Dolphin and I'm shoving in my lineup. Now, don't get it twisted. Seattle's going to win. This is going to be like Blackfish. You're going to see the Dolphins get killed. But in the grand scheme of things, though, the Dolphins are going to put up points in this game. I see it like a 40-30-something game. It is going to be literally fantasy gold. This is my pants-off matchup of the week, and I'm getting as much action. Matchup? Oh, yeah, there's going to be points nonstop. I'm getting as much action on this game as I can this week. I expect huge fantasy numbers. All the Dolphins, all the Seahawks, just get them in there.
Elvin, what you got, man? Are you on the site?
Yeah, no, I'm on the site.
Do you see anybody in there?
Number 17. That's
yeah. So quarterback and tight end, I'll give you outside the top 15 for the quarterbacks and outside the top 20 for running back and wide out.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
Tight ends outside the top 15.
Yeah, well then, I mean, I'll go with my guy Drew, hometown guy.
Ooh, up against Detroit, man.
No, well, I mean, I think there's a good shot that Mike Thomas is back this week.
Really?
Yeah, they said that he was practicing today. He's about 75%. They're easing him into it. There's hopes that he could play this week against Detroit. I mean, he has the weapons to carry him to great stat lines. You saw the 298, 3 TDs, no picks. I mean, that's a good fantasy day. So I like it. I think the Lions against the Saints' undisciplined defense, they'll cause them to have to score points quickly. And I like Drew Brees. I mean, to finish QB1 as a QB1.
I like it. I like the pick. I really do. I'm kind of curious as to whether, obviously Okuda's really good. And we could see Okuda probably cover Traquan Smith and Michael Thomas might get bracket coverage. Do you think that's a possible situation?
Yeah. No, but I mean, you're talking about Alvin Kamara and Mike Thomas. These guys are going to get all open. They've dealt with, Mike Thomas has been doubled before. He was doubled all last season.
Yeah, the whole entire time.
Set a record for receptions.
And his slants don't need his high ankle sprain to perform very high. His slants, he doesn't need his he doesn't need his ankle to perform for slants. Like that's it's pretty much a given play. So Drew Brees can see his completion percentage go up, and I actually really like Jared Cook in this matchup.
Well, Cook's hurt, right? That's why it's going to worry. Is it
Oh.
Cook or Trotman this week?
Yeah, Cook is kind of banged up, but I think we'll like the rookie tight end.
Adam Troutman.
That's
Adam Troutman season.
It might be Troutman week. It might be Troutman week.
I love Adam Troutman. Oh my God, it's Adam Troutman season. Let's go.
So if we go bracket coverage and Okuda on Smith, it might be Troutman and Kamara, and I think that might be enough against this defense to put up some points. I like the call.
Yeah,
I've got a shocker for you guys. You guys ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ready? Here we go. I forgot who I picked. Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins up against Houston.
That was my backup. I like it.
Houston gives up a ton of points, and they also score points. Minnesota. Okay, cool. So we're all on the same page here. Kirk Cousins is going to throw for 600 yards and 8 touchdowns and going to win fantasy weeks this week. Right? We good on that?
I like it.
All right, cool.
I'm with it.
All right, running back, Mike, you want to start us out?
Yeah, so running back, let's face it, you guys are not tuning in for me to give you some kind of obvious pick. So I'm going to go deep on this one. And I'm going to go running back 43.
Whoa.
Is Chase Edmonds.
I like it. I was thinking Chase Edmonds.
Right?
Damn it.
43 going against the Carolina defense. I think it's just insulting. The fact is that right now we all bet big on Kenyon Drake, and I've seen all over Twitter.
You guys did.
Yeah, well, I'm saying all of you. I don't have them anywhere. I traded them for a second. But I'm seeing it's Kenyon Drake season all over Twitter. And I'm going to slide in at that 43 price and take Edmonds. I'm going to take him to catch a touchdown. I'm going to take him to maybe get 45 to 50 rushing yards. And at running back 43, that's huge payout. Double-digit points in PPR scoring against a pathetic Carolina defense. I think this is an easy slam. I got him as a top 20 play this week at the running back 43 ranking.
I like it. I was going to pick that. So you took my pick.
Well, I wrote the show sheet, so you can't. If I do the work, I get to go first. That's how we do things.
No, Mike's been an excellent help, guys. Like I do 7 episodes every other week and 6 episodes every other week. So I have a lot on my plate. I did about 7 hours worth of DFS research today. So, and I completely blew the episode after doing 7 hours worth of work. I blew the episode because my mind was so filled with information. I couldn't process it all. It was bad. Anyways, the podcast is going to be better. I'm going to edit it and make sure it sounds, pretty. It'll be out tomorrow morning or tonight. Anyways, Mike has come on and actually started writing the show sheet and, absolutely crushed it. So I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Mike, of course. Thank you, buddy, for coming on the team and helping me out. Huge help. We're in this together now. So I'm excited.
No, me too, man. Love it here. Absolutely love finding a spot. I love having a home. I've been doing guest spots, so I'm stoked to have a permanent place. And like I said, between you two guys, and I don't want to get all mushy here and shit, but the 2 guys you're seeing on this are the 2 people that gave me a shot when legitimately no one even knew who the hell I was. Elvin let me write on the site. Chase let me come on the podcast, man. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And all I can hope is that you get a couple clicks from what I'm doing. That's all I can hope for. But you guys literally gave me a shot when no one knew who the fuck I was. So I appreciate it.
Love it, man. You're awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
All right. Who you got, Elvin?
I'm going with Devin Singletary, man. I mean, he had a huge week 3. He's still ranked outside the top 20. I think he had 121 yards last week with Zach Moss out. I believe Zach Moss is supposed to remain sidelined this week with that toe injury. If he does, I'm expecting a similar week. I watched Latavius Murray run it up the gut against the Raiders with ease. So I expect much of the same from Singletary. Think he gets some pay dirt, and I like him.
Yeah, I love that call. He was my call last week. I've been pounding him when Moss isn't, and to be honest, even when Moss is, he looks like the better back. So I love that.
He is the better back, yeah.
Is Chase frozen?
Oh yeah, he's frozen.
He looks frozen. All right, so who should we give him? Who would really fuck up his week? Let's see. Should we make him? I mean, we could make him a Ronald Jones truther just for fun. Oh, now he's just straight up gone.
Oh my, he left us.
All right, so let's keep this train rolling. We'll bring him back in a minute, but let's move on to our wide receivers. Elvin, I think I already gave you mine earlier. I got OBJ coming in at wide receiver 26 against that Dallas secondary. I just think he's going to get loose. I'm not really sure how much volume we're going to be talking about with Beckham, but I don't even think he needs it. I mean, I expect him to hit maybe one or two 25 to 40, some of those intermediate passes. I think he goes for 100 and a touch easily against the secondary. I don't think there's anyone that can run with him. I don't think there's anyone that can touch him. So I think wide receiver 26 is embarrassingly low for a guy who I have pretty squarely in the top 15.
Yeah, and I mean, I couldn't agree more. I traded for OBJ today and in my home league. I'm going to go with Cooper Kupp. Like you said, the Rams can't stop anyone. I love it. Daniel Jones was almost the QB that I mentioned outside the top 20. I mean, not Daniel Jones, Jared Goff.
Yep.
But I'm rolling with Cooper Kupp to dominate this one. I think he's still not getting the love that he deserves because of how good Robert Woods is. This week, I think he has the chance to finish as a top 10 receiver.
Oh, man, I love it. I absolutely love it. I was sitting there watching my DFS points pile up with Coop and Goff last week. I think you roll him out again this week. I think it's
back.
A perfect matchup. He is back. So, Chase, we moved on to our wide receivers. We gave you Ronald Jones at running back just to fuck with you. But if you got a running back, why don't you go ahead and drop him for us?
I lost all internet connection, and I can't see anything right now on my laptop. Every screen's loading. My Wi-Fi.
I think we lost you again.
All right, let's do some tight ends, man.
Let's do some tight ends while we're here. So my tight end.
Wahoo, Cox Cable.
Yeah.
Not the place to own.
Well, it's funny because he says Cox, and I'm about to say Mo Alley Cox, so we can just make that a nice little segue there. But I am absolutely going to take Mo Alley Cox this week. If you take a look at what tight ends have been doing to the Bears defense, let's remove that really strange 1-for-1 and 1 touchdown from Hayden Hurst. Otherwise, they're giving up 50 to 60 yards, 5 to 7 catches a game from the tight end. And Mo Alley Cox is an absolute stud right now. I mean, he is making plays. He's making Jack Doyle and Trey Burton an afterthought. I'm going to roll him out against these Bears. I expect a return to the tight end. Let's face it, Indy doesn't have that Calvin Ridley type talent that's going to take away all the catches, that's going to put up those massive yards. So I like Alley Cox to put up a good game. Tight end 20, I think, is entirely too low. So I'm going to pull him up and expect him to be a startable tight end this week.
I like it, man. He was on my waiver wire edition. I really like Mo Alley Cox. I'm gonna go with Schultz over in Dallas. I had my buddy. He's actually watching the show right now. D Harv, go hard. I had him pick him up, gave him a little advice, but the spot that we were supposed to. I mean, we knew the tight end would feast in Dallas all along. Then we had that awful injury week 1. And Schultz has come out and he's produced right in the shoes. He's filled it. I think he continues that. Last week was a little bit bumpier of a ride than throwing him out there. I think this week against Cleveland, you're safe.
I love it. Absolutely love it. I mean, when Jarwin went down, I was wondering, are they gonna switch the offense around a little bit? Are they gonna make some changes? But man, they just kept the offense the way it is. They keep rolling out those plays, and now he's seeing those targets. I mean, it's hard not to expect him to produce. And what he's doing so far has been solid. I agree. I love that, that continuation. And if I didn't go Alley Cox, I literally was looking one spot above for Schultz. So couldn't agree more on that one.
Yeah, it's still so devastating to see what happened to Jarwin on such a promising season. So hyped up by Twitter, but Schultz he's going to step in and he's going to do just fine.
All right. So listen, while we wait for Chase to come back, I want to cover a topic that's near and dear to both of our hearts, and see how many viewers we can lose Chase before he comes back. Okay. All right. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right. So, how big of a disaster and a wreck of a franchise are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for investing in a bunch of 30 and 40-year-old has-beens and expecting to win a title with them? How are you feeling about people saying that the Tampa Bay Bucks are going to take your division with that ragtag bunch of washed-up has-beens?
Dude, I'm disgusted. Actually, I mean, I made some Twitter bets the other night because I mean, kind of just out of passion, so like anger, because I mean, we lose to a team like the Packers, and then kind of, I mean, I don't want to call it a fluke because we performed bad, but I think if we played the Raiders 5 times, we would win 3 out of 5 of those matchups at least. And the Packers are one of the better teams in the NFL. They look legit. Like, I think between them and the Chiefs, that's the 2 teams that we're looking at right now. And we lose a close one to them. Really, that a game that we would have won. Taysom kind of fumbled away the win. I mean, we were going down there 4 or 5 minutes left. We were on our side of the 50 after we had just stopped them on 4th and 1. I think that they were on their way to win, and they completely dominated the Buccaneers. So the Buccaneers they beat Denver with a backup quarterback. Denver already isn't a good team, and now they're on their backup quarterback. They beat those guys. They're dominated by New Orleans, and everyone. I mean, it's just a Tom Brady effect, dude. But it pisses me off.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, like being a Pats fan, right? And you know this. I mean, you and I have been going back and forth on Twitter with the Bucks hate while our buddy Mikey jumps in and others and tells us we're pushing false narratives. But the fact was, right, there was so much belief that Jameis Winston gone, Tom Brady in means victories. And to me, anyone who's watching those games realizes that, yeah, Winston threw 30 interceptions, but how many of them fall on those wideouts, not being in the right place, not making the right read. And one of the things I know about Brady is that drives him fucking crazy, right? Like he literally wrote off N'Keal Harry for making a couple bad reads. He got rid of Jacoby Myers, and that's why he was peppering Julian Edelman. Now you bring in Gronk, and Arians comes out and says outright he's just here to block. That dude's already going to be checked out. He's calling out Brady's passion in press conferences. That's not going to fly. And like we talked about, I mean, whether it comes down to the old school Redskins when they picked up Deion Sanders and Bruce Smith and built a fucking fantasy team, you go to basketball when the Nets did it with Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. It doesn't work. And when you start they brought in LaShawn McCoy and got rid of Dare, their best receiving back. They're making decisions that not only are going to cost them this year, but are going to cost them for years to come. And this playbook that they're running historically has never worked, whether it's Montana's Chiefs, whether it's Favre's Vikings, whether it's the Redskins team. It is literally headline grabbing, but never Lombardi trophy grabbing team building. And I literally still love your Saints coming out of the division, possibly even coming out of the NFC. But this Bucks love, man, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Now we have Chase outside. Looks like outside walking in the parking lot to get some connection.
Dude, I freaking ran, man.
All right, so
I ran like a mile away because I don't get connections of all the aluminum housing. And yeah, I am now in my neighbor's area with jets going overhead. And yeah,
no, this is live. So here's what we're going to tell you just to catch you up. We went through all of our positions and we got rid of any Buccaneers fans that you have watching this podcast. We'll never watch it again. So that's what we accomplished so far. But good news is I've kept my pants on. I didn't do anything inappropriate. So at least you have that going for you.
Thank you very much.
But we no longer have Bucks fans watching. And we covered all the positions. So I don't know if you wanted to jump in with anything here, or you wanted to just give it a sign off at this point.
I think we're gonna sign off, guys. It's been fun. It's been absolutely a fun time. I tried YouTube on this go around instead of using Facebook Live. We had a lot less interaction. Sorry about that, Elvin. We'll make sure next time we get you on, we use Facebook instead.
Oh man, not until I upgrade this camera. This thing has drove me nuts the entire time.
Dude, I know.
Like a cartoon character.
I need to figure out my camera because obviously I look a lot more tan in person, like on this camera than I do, with my actual webcam. But I'll figure it all out. You'll figure it all out. It'll all be good. Listen, thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. If y'all want to check us out, hit us up on FF_intervention. LNKTR.ee/fantasy intervention. Right. We also have patreon.com/fantasy intervention. Elvin, you want to give a shout out to, of course, your site and what you do?
Yeah, man. Find me on Twitter, Elvin Ryan _FF, and the pregamehq.com.
Mike?
I love it, man. You can find all of us on the pregamehq.com. That's where you got to be at this point. Find me on Twitter at Daddy's Home FF. Always love shooting the shit with y'all. And we'll see you every Wednesday here at 8 o'clock.
Love it. Love it. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you for letting me intervene with us intervene with your fantasy football life. We're out.
Later, guys.